Hello, I'm Jabari Mongoose, and this is my first Crystal Legacy Hardcore Nuzlocke challenge. In Crystal Legacy version 1.2, you can select a horror mode, which has the normal hardcore Nuzlocke rules. Basically, can't use items in battle, no overleveling, etc. Starting off, I pick my female avatar and I go by Eriket. And yeah, let's get started here. First off, after talking to my mom, I head to Professor Elm's lab to get my starter. In this case, I decided to go extra hard and go with Chikorita. Now, Smith plays Pokemon who him and his team made the Crystal Legacy ROM hack has upgraded Chikorita's movesets, so we'll see how this goes. Per Professor Elm's request, we go and meet Mr. Pokemon to get a mysterious egg and get the Pokedex from Professor Oak. Upon which we immediately get a call from Professor Elm saying that someone stole a Pokemon from his lab. We then run into the perpetrator on our way back to the lab and then challenge him to a Pokemon battle. The rival fights don't get too complicated yet, so a couple of tackles was all it takes to take him down. One thing I forgot to mention is Chikorita's nickname is Gasms in honor of one of my followers and good friend. My Pokemon are being nicknamed after my followers. And then after getting back to Professor Elm's lab, police officer asked me for the perpetrator's name, and I named him Adam, a very, very close friend of mine. But he's going to be my rival in this. After giving Professor Elm the mysterious egg, he then tells us, why don't we take the Pokemon Gym Challenge? So before I go, I decide to be a good child and tell my mother where I'm going, and she's okay, as she will be spending all my money I give her anyway. Now that we got our Pokeballs, the Nuzlocke challenge officially begins. On Route 29, the first Pokemon we get is a Hoot-Hoot. And I decide to name him after a recent subscriber at the time, who's going to be Eric Confirmed. So I appreciate it, buddy. Next is on Route 46, and I catch myself a Rattata. This will actually be a big deal, because later on in Violet City, this will guarantee a Ghastly at the Bellsprout Tower, and I decided to nickname him Lawn Gnome. On Route 30, we get a Spinarak, who it actually is a lot better. Ariados got a huge buff in this game, and is actually a very good mid-range Pokemon, I would say. I nickname him DH. Next, we're going through the trainers of Route 30 and Route 31. Nothing too crazy here. There are some updates on Pokemon trainers. This is, of course, youngster Joey, so he has his trusty Rattata. And then right here on Route 31, we get our encounter here, and it is a Bellsprout. Victory Bell and the Bellsprout line got a huge buff in this game as well. They are much better Pokemon, and we catch it no problem, and I decided to nickname this one after a TikTok follower named Trey. Next, I decided to go into the Dark Cave, because you have chances to get Larvitar in here. Unfortunately, we don't get Larvitar, we get Zubat, which is also just fine. Crobat is still an amazing Pokemon in this game, and is one of the more powerful Pokemon you can get. I decided to name this one Peters. Now, we make our way to Violet City, and I decide to visit the school to showcase some cool things about talking to the students. They will talk about a lot of the details that they've made, or the changes they've made in this ROM hack. Things about like Ariados, how Cut to Bug type move, and Fighting type moves got some buffs to make them more in balance with the rest of the type moves in the game. Alright, then we go to Route 46, no not 46, 36, and I get my encounter here, and it's a Growlithe. Now, if I waited till nighttime, I could have gotten Houndour, but I honestly really like Arcanine. And I decided to nickname this one Quick W. Thanks for the follow, buddy. After this, I go into the Ruins of the Alps and finish the first puzzle for Kabuto. Now, interesting thing, you get a fossil. You get the corresponding fossil for whichever puzzle you fix, and once you get to a certain number of badges, you can revive them. But they are your Ruins of the Alp encounter, and my mistake here is I didn't use a repel, so now my encounter is an Unknown. But Unknown will be useful because it does have Ancient Power as well as Hidden Power in this, and mine is actually Hidden Power Ice, so this will help me a lot in the fight against Faulkner. After this, we do some prep work, and now it's time for the fight against Faulkner. All my Pokemon are at level 10, and once I beat him, I can now go beyond 10, and the next level cap would be 16. Faulkner starts off with his Pidgey, the same as the original base Crystal games, and I leave with Chikorita because it does not know a flying move. Right here, I go with Leech Seed to get some health and to start weakening it. My strategy here is to actually start off with Unknown, who I nicknamed it User, by the way. Basically, since it has Ancient Power, and I don't care if it lives or dies, I'm going to use it to to finish off the Pidgey and also start fighting Faulkner's ace Pokemon. So right here, Leech Seed is going to kill on this turn, so I hard switch into User. Doesn't take a lot of damage, and so now we are basically at full health to fight the Noctowl, which is his new ace in this. I go off with an Ancient Power, which does good damage, but knowing that it has a berry, I decided to see how much Hidden Power Ice will do, and my Unknown has more physical than special, so I really should just stick to using Ancient Power. But we both have our berries proc, and so at this point, a crit won't even kill me. So at this point, it's just, taking him out of Ancient Power, and that's the first badge. I hope people enjoyed the first part of this video. Part 2 will come out next Friday. Have a good one, guys.